Recently, someone said to me that they didn't think I was being fair. Didn't think that my pointing out that the things women do and say to men was good because it caused more issues than it solved. They even went so far as to say that I was the reason that men and women no longer talk to each other, no longer engage in any way. Well, to them I say, that's exactly why we need to point it out. Because it's gotten to the point that there is no point in having conversations. There is no point for men in trying to engage with women when they're going around saying things like,
Are males really experiencing a loneliness epidemic, or are they just experiencing the consequences of their actions?
and this is exactly what I mean. It's exactly why we can't have nice things. Because women like this are running around spewing their toxicity and literally making things up in order to justify it. Making things up in order to cope with the reality that men are done and walking away from them. I mean, how can you have an adult conversation with someone or a group of someone's that does like what she's doing here? How can you have any conversation at all with a group that spews that level of toxicity and hatred? I mean, the answer to her question is neither, because, and again, we keep telling women this over and over, but they can't seem to just get it through their heads. There is no male loneliness epidemic. In fact, men are thriving on their own. Men have found out that their lives are happier, healthier, and a hell of a lot less stressful without women than they ever have been or could be with them. But you see, women won't accept that. It doesn't fit their feels. And they're continuing to double down on that toxicity, hoping that somehow it's going to make men have a loneliness epidemic, which not only isn't going to work, but in reality causes more and more men to ask, why would we want to engage with women who take great joy, great delight, as this woman is doing, in thinking that men are lonely, unwanted, and unneeded, who literally dance in pure delight at the thought that men are struggling and can't survive without them? Oh, sure, it makes the women feel good to hope for it, but make them a good person, someone you'd want to be around? Yeah, no. But that is exactly what women are doing, as this lovely young lady has shown in spades. But our little example doesn't stop there. Oh no, my friends.
Those actions being a refusal to evolve with women in current times.
Evolve with women in current times. Okay, you mean become totally delusional, self-absorbed, narcissistic, and downright nasty? Become so toxic, so insane with expectations and demands while thinking that they have no obligations whatsoever in return? Well, yeah, I guess we're going to have to admit she's right. Men have refused to evolve like women have. Then again, why would they want to? Being that way doesn't make you strong and independent, which is what women are telling themselves. No, it makes you an arrogant ass, and men know that, which is why they've chosen not to evolve like women have.
As well as a refusal to let go of the archaic expectations of patriarchy.
Oh, you mean like paying for dates, opening doors, providing and protecting. You know, all those things that women have refused to let go of, all while claiming they want to be treated as equals. Funny how that evolution and change that they go on and on about only applies when it suits them, only when it works in their favor. Otherwise, it's let's keep the things the way they were in the 1950s. Again, we see how women think, the double standards that they wallow in. The hypocrisy of it all is astounding. But then again, we're talking about a group that actually believes there is and always has been a patriarchy, when in fact, not only isn't there one, there never actually has been one, at least not in the way they claim there was. It's a belief based completely on lies and falsehoods, ones that have long been disproven, yet women cling to them like a newborn baby to a bottle. The phony wage gap, the lie that women couldn't have bank accounts, the list goes on and on. Yet when you give them actual facts that easily refute their claims, their beliefs, they flat out refuse to accept them, refuse to even acknowledge them, refuse in most cases to even listen to them. Which again brings us back to why would men or any sane person for that matter, want to talk to or engage with a person or group of persons that think that way. Much like the male loneliness epidemic, it's all made up fantasy. Fantasy that women have created to justify their hatred and mistreatment of men.
Okay, no, but can we talk about this one, y'all?
Well, we just did, and let's be honest, any further conversation would be pointless because women aren't ready to have it yet. Women have shown time and again that it's they who lack the emotional maturity to have a real, fact-based adult conversation without it devolving into them hurling lame insults at men. You know, calling them incels, P3DOs, abusers, and worse. For all their claims that it's men who are immature, the fact is the typical response that they have almost always is to hurl the same tired, lame insults over and over again, like petulant preschoolers, which in reality proves who's the actual immature ones. There's an old saying my pappy used to use which went something like, you can't argue with ignorance. And as women have shown time and again, they live in a fantasy world, live in a world where they refuse to acknowledge anything that doesn't fit their feels, which is why men shouldn't engage with them, shouldn't have conversations with them, shouldn't even be around them. You cannot argue with that mindset, cannot reason with it, and most certainly can't change it. The only real option is to point it out for what it is: blind hatred, hatred of men. And until women stop playing their little games, until they're willing to acknowledge their own toxicity, acknowledge their hatred of men, and take real steps to address it, there is no point, none whatsoever, in being around or talking to them. In fact, if anything, it's downright risky for men, as so many men who have faced false allegations have found out. The best option, the only option, is for men to do what they are doing and have been doing, which is to just walk away. Walk away from all the insanity that is today's modern women.